Welcome to Bite Sized Lemons, episode 30. Welcome, Laura.
Oh, thank you for having me, sir.
You are Laura and not John.
You're right.
Could you tell us a bit about yourself, Laura?
I am your friend, for one.
True.
But second, I am a woman.
It is.
And I'm here today to talk about women with you.
Excellent. I could not do it alone, as I am not a woman.
No, you need help.
I do need
You
help.
need some serious help. And only I can do it.
Yeah, and this is not specific help to talking about women. I just need help.
Yeah.
This is our 30th episode. This is the big dirty 30,
That's
as they
gross.
say, big 3-0.
This is my first episode.
This is.
So
you are
some
related,
of the effect is lost on me.
It's true. You were related to one of the previous hosts.
Yeah.
John.
No.
Oh,
Rachel.
Rachel. My mistake.
Fool.
Foolishness. We're going to get into some news wedge. Is what we're going to do.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. Studio Ghibli has a television series coming to Netflix.
Truly.
Or Amazon. I lied. It looks awful. It's they're not doing the classic 2D stuff anymore, so it's 3D, but it looks bad.
What is it supposed to be?
Who knows? It's all in Japanese, and I cannot read that.
Oh.
Fair.
So you need help.
I do need help, and you're here to help me because you're fluent in Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
We just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
We did.
What did you think?
That. It looks fun if you like that sort of thing.
It's completely accurate. For
Seems
example,
quite
Rachel.
spooky.
Rachel will love it.
Their bodies falling in slow motion. They played like that song, "Hooked on a Feeling," but like creepy, suggesting
with a
that
strange chant.
so like a darker tone perhaps to the film than. So something's amiss.
It is
in the galaxy.
Do you hate Chris Pratt's facial hair?
I didn't pay much attention to it.
He's got pointy sideburns.
Oh well.
I hate it.
What a heathen.
What? Take him down. So, on the contrary, wait.
This is how we pivot.
Yes. The Logan trailer is
so
in a
great.
completely different vein of superheroism.
Heroism?
Anti-heroism.
Yes, quite.
Heroism. Perfect. What did you think of that one?
You know, it seems really intense because we have Xavier, like a decrepit old man, and Logan, a less decrepit old man, and this girl, which I don't know. I don't really have the comic book knowledge. I don't know who that girl is.
Well,
but
I could tell you.
Tell me, friend.
So, right at the end of this trailer, you saw the man getting stabbed through the head.
Yes, violent.
That is the only difference between that and the G trailer.
G.
So that's the red band trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The regular trailer. It's the only difference.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I
feel kind of ripped off.
Who's that child?
All right, so let me lay out the storyline.
Oh, lay it down for me.
So Professor Xavier is old. All mutants are going extinct somehow.
Oh.
Because those people with the robot
Climate
hands,
change.
the robot hands, climate change. That's it. The bees, save the bees. They are kind of the new enhanced people. The people with robot hands. They're called the
Are
Ravagers.
they all in a club?
They're in a cybernetic club. This comic was done in the 90s, or those characters, so some of them had like tank treads for feet. So it was a lot crazier, but this looks like they're just going to have
little metal hands
and whatnot. But anyway, so they're wiping out mutants, assumably. Patrick Stewart's losing his mind, forgetting who Logan is.
That's not good.
It's sad. It's really sad. And he's also the most powerful mutant that we know of, so that's kind of scary.
Yes.
This little girl is Logan's clone. Shout out to Rachel.
Clonegin.
Exactly. For getting so mad at the fact that they're not genetic.
Identicals?
Identicals, yeah.
Oh, because she's a girl.
She's a girl, and...
No, she doesn't have that scruffy beard.
It's true. She also only has 2 claws. So she's going to be the new Wolverine. Basically. She's X-23.
That's cute.
It's adorable. She's actually a pretty awesome independent woman.
Oh, segue!
But we'll get to that in 1 second. Really quick, John and I will probably talk about it next week, but Nintendo Switch, they came out with a new system.
Yes.
Or they're coming out with it. It's basically, you can play it on your big screen. You can play it as a handheld. You can take it anywhere. So
cool.
It's cool, I guess. Speaking of which, Nintendo's stock has dropped 7% since the announcement of the Nintendo Switch. There's that.
Like Chromecast.
Yes.
But bad and Pokemon
Yeah.
related. Yeah.
Well,
So you can
somewhat,
imagine
yeah.
how it's going to go.
Lando Calrissian has been cast in the Han Solo film.
Yeah, there's a Han Solo film.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so behind.
Baby Han Solo.
Baby Han Solo.
It's prequel Han Solo. Do you know who is playing Lando?
No.
Donald Glover.
I think I said no.
Do you know who that is?
Vaguely.
He's from like Community and stuff like that.
Oh, him.
Lando. I think he looks like a good Lando.
He does look like a good, very intense eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
He's fine. I have nothing against him. He's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right. All right. Some of the best news I've heard in a very long time is that a total of 698 people in America have been named after Pokemon.
Well, that's just interesting.
That's a lot of people.
Well, not when you compare it to the size of the nation
Well, that's true.
or the world.
Most recently, Eevee has been one of the popular ones.
Well, that's pretty close to a real name.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Paris, Paras.
P-A-R.
It's not that bad.
It's kind of
I could even see that being a coincidence.
Huh.
You know, just people trying to name their kids Paris.
And they mess up. They spell it wrong.
Abra.
Kadabra.
Alakazam. Exactly. Onyx.
That's... Now we're getting out into the realm of crazy.
That's pretty wild. I mean, it's not insane.
Onyx, clean the bathroom. Like it just
Onyx, do your homework.
Oh, Onyx, you'll be the death of me. I'm writing you out of the will. Did see none of these things? Oh no.
And the worst one is Tangela.
Yeah.
Like the little ball of
Love
love. Little ball of love.
and messy hair. I imagine.
Yes.
Tangela is just destined to have disgusting hair, dreads. Not that dreads are bad.
So let me show you a picture of...
Young Goose.
It's a new Pokemon, and people have been saying it looks a lot like Donald Trump.
Look at its hair.
And it really does. Anyway, so they finally got to ask Junichi Masuda, the creator of Pokemon, if he was intended to be like
Trumpy.
looking like Trump. And he said, it's a very American-centric question, I think.
Nah,
and
fair.
actually, a lot of people sent me comparison photos on Twitter pointing out the resemblance. But we had started the design of this Pokemon a long time back, and we didn't have any intention to make it look like Donald Trump.
That's funny and fair. And totally like, take that, America. The entire world does not care
No
about
one cares.
your train recollection.
Yeah. He said, I can see why people would think it would look similar, especially the hairstyle.
It's mostly the hair, also the little growl, you know,
Yeah, I
its
mean,
little teethies,
it looks a lot like him.
and the tail.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's a normal type.
Sure, that meant
I don't
something.
know. I don't know.
I'm not qualified to be on a Pokemon-based show.
True. So, you know, let's talk about something else then. Let's do how about a top 10 list?
Oh, about what? Perhaps women?
Let's do
Just, you know, since I'm here.
because today is National Women Day.
Oh, yes. Had it marked on my calendar since last Women's
Happy
Day.
Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
We should have one of those.
And I bet
I think we
do.
might. It might be
It's probably a month.
Yeah, I was about to say.
There's a month for everything.
There is. And you know what this month is?
Women's Month.
Halloween.
Nope. Okay.
And this is the spoopy month.
It's boobay.
So what we're going to do is we are going to list,
Women.
just list them. All right. Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
That's
What?
a woman.
Yes.
All right, your turn to list a woman.
Are we just, what do we do? I'm so confused.
No.
Okay.
We're not actually doing that.
Oh,
So
okay.
what we're doing, this is going to be our top 10 list for badass women.
In film and television,
And
books.
books and games. I
And
got
games,
some of the
'cause
games covered.
You got excited, so games
I did.
too.
Yes. Can we do books? Yeah, we'll also do games.
All
I
right,
just got excited.
that's good.
So what is the definition? Formidably impressive, uncompromising, potentially tough, and or intimidating.
Potentially tough,
So it doesn't have to be this big buff woman.
but it could be.
It can be just a woman that is unwavering in her opinion.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Just whatever you got.
Whatever you got.
So we both had lists of 10.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a lot more than that. So
Well, I still have it. Do you have more than 10?
yeah, I have like 20.
Oh, are we going to go through all of them?
No, we're not going to go through all of them.
Oh.
Do you have a top 10?
I ended up with 30, but I narrowed it down to a ranked top 10.
I have a ranked top 10 as well.
Okay,
but I also have some shout outs I think we should just cover before we get into
very well.
into the intensity that is.
You begin.
Shall I?
Yes.
All right, so all these shout outs are not in particular order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Private Vasquez from Aliens.
Quite.
I don't know if you're familiar with her, but
I vaguely remember that she
there's a line in that where she's doing a bunch of pull-ups, and one of the male Marines, so she's this kind of pull-up.
Yes, I know.
Pull up the weights with your arms.
Yeah, yes.
So she's doing a bunch of pull-ups, as I said.
Whatever.
One of the male Marines walked by and says, "Hey, Vasquez, anybody ever mistake you for a dude?" And she goes, "No, how about you?" Savagery. Brilliance. So she's really good, and she kicks butt in
So
that
she's
movie.
real good. I have Scout Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Very nice. Excellent.
Who is just... I think she's cool just because she's like a little kid, you know? And totally like... I mean, in the beginning, she's pretty ignorant, but as the book goes on, she becomes like totally like counterculture. Like, oh, racism is bad. You people are all terrible. I'm not going to be like you people. Meh.
That's good.
Liking it. This
Love
is
it.
how I am. I am Scout Finch.
You are counterculture.
I am not.
Racism is bad.
Racism is bad.
I agree. I'm glad you think that.
Well, yeah.
I have Lisbeth Salander from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Just because she is really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She's endured a lot, and she's still a very powerful, strong woman.
Quite.
Yes. We're going to get into more detail in our top 10. Let's just let you guys know.
All right. I have Ursula from The Little Mermaid. She's just...
Yeah, okay.
I don't think you need much explaining. I mean, she plots so deviously. And she's formidable.
She's remarkably formidable.
Formidable and scary and intimidating.
Very spoopy.
And, tentacles.
Yeah. So
and
all of this...
Great singer, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, those pipes.
Ooh.
So this is going to be just female characters. Doesn't have to be human, because Ursula is some kind of octopus
Squid
lady.
centaur.
Very nice. Squintar?
Squintar?
I've got Trinity from The Matrix.
Oh, I forgot about her.
She's all right.
Man, yeah.
Those movies suck. First one's good.
First one's good. And then everything else is poop garbage. Anyway.
Yeah. That's my like less than 10 word summary of the entire Matrix franchise. Those movies suck, except from the first one.
I have I have to look at my list to see like who I actually put on it.
I dare you.
I have Hermione.
She's just a shout out.
Because there's so many. There's so many women, especially so many women in Harry Potter you could go with.
Just about most of them.
Yeah, and I have Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter too.
As a shout out?
Yeah, and McGonagall as a shout out.
Excellent.
Yeah, because they're all just so cool, but not cool enough.
Not cool enough for you.
No.
Squirrel Girl. She basically is this woman who has a giant bushy tail.
Oh, yeah.
And squirrel ears and a nose. And
right.
You know Thanos, like the big purple guy, right?
Purple guy.
So basically, no one can defeat Thanos, and
except for Squirrel Girl,
because he's prepared for everything except from squirrels, and she commands squirrels.
Oh, yes.
So that
just
happened.
like all women.
Yeah,
that's
like most women.
Have.
Yeah,
you know.
I didn't know that actually, because squirrel rhymes with girl.
Yeah.
So she defeats Thanos single-handedly, well, with the help of several million squirrels, and also Doctor Doom. So she's kind of up there on the list of people that.
She's kind of oddball sort of character.
She's weird, but she's great.
Like women.
She's weird but great, like a woman.
T-shirts.
I've only got a couple more, so if you want to do a few more.
We don't have to go through all of them. I have Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
Quit and pro cloak. Yeah, that one. I have Eliza Doolittle from...
Dr. Doolittle?
No, from My Fair Lady, the movie, and the play, which is Pygmalion. Oh, yes, that's what it's called. Lady Macbeth. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Matilda. Roald Dahl's
Oh,
Matilda.
that's such a good one.
Good one. Who else would you know? I have Brienne of Tarth. I have Daenerys Targaryen.
That's only a shout out.
Only a shout out because they're cooler people. Galadriel, of course.
Pretty good.
Pretty good choice. Katniss, which...
Everdeen?
Katniss, the girl on fire, but I hate her, so she's only a shout out. I hate.
Do you hate Katniss or do you hate?
I hate
Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal.
Both. Actually,
Fair.
The movies are better than the books. I just hate the Hunger Games. They're not very good. Violet Crawley from Downton Abbey.
Oh, yes.
Dowager Countess.
Very nice.
She's the best.
I originally had her on my list, actually. But she got bumped down.
I have Clytemnestra.
Who the heck that?
Clytemnestra is, we're going back to ancient Greeks here.
Oh,
from
I see.
Aeschylus's Oresteia. She's the wife of Agamemnon. Duh. And so there's this whole myth thing where Agamemnon needs to sail to Troy, right, for the Trojan War, but he can't because Artemis has stopped the wind for some reason because she's a jerk. And so to get the wind back, he has to sacrifice his daughter, Iphigenia, and he does.
Rest in peace.
He sacrifices her to Artemis, and Clytemnestra was like, So when he comes back from Troy, she murders him. And it's great. And then with the help of her like boy toy, they like run Argos. So that's pretty cool.
It's intense.
It's pretty cool just because, I don't know, like a strong female character could exist.
Mm-hmm. Way back
in like in a Greek play in, antiquities. Pretty impressive.
Something that I didn't really think about. The Bible. So like Esther would be a good one.
Or, Eve. No. She pretty much doesn't do. She's
uncompromising in the first chapter.
She's the most compromised.
Yeah, super compromised.
Yeah, she's not.
Same
really,
with Adam though.
Oh, that Eve ruining humanity. Just rib. Like women. Nope. That's not true. I can't say that.
It's not true. Women are improving it.
Oh yeah, so true.
As far as I'm concerned, I've got Raven from Teen Titans and the like.
Oh yeah,
she's super cool.
She's really cool.
She's the daughter of Trigon, a giant demon, essentially Satan, the ruler over the underworld. And she, was half demon, was raised to be this killing machine. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. So she's a hero because she is uncompromising.
Yes. I have Nala from The Lion King. This is when I asked you about, could we have non-human characters? And you're like, who the heck is your non-human character? But she's a shout out because she was on my list, but then as I was researching, I was like, well, they're cooler people than Nala.
Much cooler.
But yeah, she's so fierce.
So, like Beyonce.
But a cat.
My favorite fictional female character, Beyonce.
Yeah. Queen Bee.
You want to go ahead and get started on the list?
I think we should do that, yeah.
Shall I begin?
You shall begin.
All right. Number 10 comes all the way from an old movie. Mary Poppins is the movie.
Oh.
The character is Mary Poppins.
Wow. The eponymous character.
Would you believe it?
Yes.
She's great because
she's great.
Doesn't take no for an answer of any of these kids or the adults for that matter. It's funny because the original writer, I mean, you've seen Saving Mr. Banks. The original writer did not want her character portrayed like that because it goes against...
It ruins the feminist aspect.
And yet, it doesn't.
Yes.
Well, I mean, she kind of falls for, what's his name?
I want to say George, but I don't think that's right. Chimney sweep guy.
Chimney sweep. Yeah.
Talks like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Very offensive.
Yeah.
If you speak like this. What's his name? What's the actor's name? It's an American guy.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. George.
I don't think it's not supposed to be mean.
Well.
But it is.
He's doing his best. But Mary Poppins is a marvelous character because she shows up on the scene, fixes everything, or at least teaches everybody everything. Unlike Nanny McPhee, which just ruins everything.
Oh, I like Nanny McPhee.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
I forgot.
My dad
32
loves
Nanny McPhee.
Oh, there we go. My dad loves Nanny McPhee. Shout out.
Shout out Nanny McPhee.
No, to my dad. Oh, also Emma Thompson, who...
She's real, though.
Everyone on this podcast knows that Emma Thompson and I are together. So...
In spirit.
That is my number 10.
My number 10 comes all the way from Puritan settlements in Massachusetts.
Oh boy.
Hester Prynne from The Scarlet Letter.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
She is so great. I mean, everyone hates The Scarlet Letter because it's dry and wordy and awful, but Hester's pretty cool. You can't take that from her. She goes against society. And then when she's on, like, she's completely, like, ridiculed and shunned, but she, like, doesn't crack under the mass hatred from these prude people that she lives with. And, you know, she just kind of survives on her own. Like, they exile her, and she and her daughter Pearl just, like, do fine. They, like, live off the land in some cabin away from the settlement, and they're fine. And in contrast, like, the guy who impregnated her, I guess, total wuss. So that's fun. He's, like, I think he dies of a weak heart or something like that. He's like, oh, brah. So yeah, Hester is a pretty old example of a woman who's not like outrightly a badass, but in just like her strength and bearing is like totally awesome.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. And it's funny that in a lot of these, the male is lessened to a point where, just to even emphasize the point more, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Cool.
Number 9, coming all the way from Hogwarts. Professor McGonagall.
Which I took off my list when I found out she was on your list.
Oh, yeah.
We can't just repeat.
I took one off my list for you. I can't remember what it was.
No, we'll find out.
We'll find out, I guess.
Stay tuned. There are no breaks. No breaks. You can't get away.
No breaks. She's marvelous. And it's subtle until, well, at least within the films, because I haven't actually read the books.
Oh, you should. She's so great in the books.
That's what I've heard.
So much better. Although, like
Maggie,
my
girl,
such
Maggie.
a great McGonagall.
Yeah,
but the book McGonagall is also pretty great.
Within the film franchise, it's quite subtle, her power and dominance. Because she's half blood, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. But she can turn into a cat.
You heard it here first.
That's just makes her 10 times greater.
That is a cool quality.
She's an animagus. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just the coolest character.
I'm trying to think, because who does she protect in the end? She just starts whipping out some magic.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to think of who it was now. Good times. She performs some marvelous magic. And,
yes. And you just can't scare McGonagall.
Yeah.
She's a formidable woman.
She is
Fits
very much.
Fits the criterion. Yes, quite. She totally just like stands up to like Voldemort and all these horrible
and even Dumbledore.
Evil people that assail the castle. And she's like, no, I got this.
Get out
Wand.
of here.
Wave.
Yeah. It's funny how all these people who are marvelous magicians.
Get out. You have no right to talk about Harry Potter.
Wizards.
Yes, thank you.
They either choose, it seems like they either drop out of school and open up like a magic shop, or you know who you are, or they end up as a professor or something. I mean,
sounds like liberal arts degrees in general. I can say that because I am.
That is
one.
So savage. Love it. You're going to open a liberal arts store?
Yes, I will sell dreams.
Liberal paints.
Ew.
And liberal canvases.
I will sell cardboard boxes for people to live in.
Word.
There we go. All right, moving right along.
Yes, absolutely.
I have, for my next person, Aibileen Clark from The Help. She's the main maid.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's so great. I mean,
it's been a hot second since I've seen that. What's the woman's name? Olivia
Newton-John. No,
Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia, what were we talking about?
The actress.
Oh, I don't remember what the actress's name is.
How about I just look it up?
How would you Google it? But anyway, once again, completely stoically stands up to all the oppression that society heaps on her in her really hard life, but also quietly resists through the form of just storytelling. Telling everyone, under like a pseudonym, but telling people like, this is the horrible like conditions that the Help face, and like sticking it to the white ladies that are like total jerks throughout the whole book/film, and just, quietly resisting, but in like a powerful way. So,
yeah.
And she's just great.
Viola Davis.
We were so far.
Olivia. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's practically an anagram.
Yes, practically. Yeah.
It's real close.
Yeah,
she's great. Even just that actress.
Yeah, she's great.
Even that actress just exudes, power.
Yes.
That's another one that's.
Oh, and the other thing, she could easily be like a jerk to like the white children she has to take care of, but she's not. And that fat baby, what's her name? May Mobley, who's like overweight, and her mom's like such a jerk to her for being overweight, but she always tells May Mobley, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. So it's like she's like a mother figure to like so many children.
Yeah.
Even though that they're the children of the people that hate her. And that's like a strength. in of itself, which I
she has
appreciate.
incredible resilience.
Incredible. And she's even like she's lost her own children, and she's still able to like look after other.
That's another
children.
one it's rather subtle. But yeah, all those little things are what any other person would snap under that. And Viola Davis is marvelous. Even she played some character in Suicide Squad, and she just, she owns the screen because she's a badass woman. She's just in her own right.
It's like her voice, it's a powerful voice.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who would do that part that much justice.
Right.
Yeah, she was great.
Whoopi Goldberg. Nope. Opposite.
That would have been rough. Number 8 for me is coming all the way from
Judea.
No.
I don't know why I said that.
That was random. From the Tomb Raider franchise. Lara Croft.
Yes.
So there's been a couple iterations of this character.
Quite. As
she's rather old. At least for a video game character, that is. So the first couple games, it's really old school. It's one of the first times a woman is featured as a main character doing all the things that a man can do within the video game world. And then Angelina Jolie happened to that character.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing. I don't know if you've seen the Tomb Raider
movies.
I
did ages ago. It was a wee one.
They're bad.
I don't remember, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, it's pretty much Angelina Jolie not being able to act and like emphasizing her body.
So every role.
Yeah.
Burn.
Take that, Beowulf.
Big lips. Ooh. Anyway.
But most recently, there's been a remake of this game.
Oh, has it been?
And it's been a younger Lara Croft. So instead of Lara. Well, it's Lara.
Lara. Sorry.
Larynx Croft.
We should you.
So Lara Croft in this new game is essentially stranded on this island, and she is terrified, as anyone should be, because there are savages and wild beasts and that kind of thing. So basically she has to learn how to survive. And you get to see this woman's journey through
raiding tombs.
Well, indeed. So the very first couple chapters of this game are really, really difficult to watch because it's this woman who's broken, both physically and emotionally, because she's stranded, she's alone, and she has to defend for herself. And you get to learn with her as the game goes on, and she eventually really comes into herself and becomes this incredible warrior woman, stealth. And she knows exactly where her limits are, which is something that the Angelina Jolie version did not accomplish, because she was like, doing backflips off of walls and firing 2, 45 magnums. And it's just like, what is happening here?
Film.
That's bad film. But this game really gives her strength and resilience, whereas the Angelina Jolie version, she's not in any danger, so it's like a useless character.
Like, oh, look at my guns. Whee!
Yeah, so there's another one of these things that there's always some kind of very strong opposing force within these films and movies and books and against the main character.
Yes.
Which they have to overcome, which is nice. I mean, the same with every piece of fiction that's ever existed. But more particularly, it challenges them as... A lot of the time, it challenges them as women.
Quite.
As most females have to deal with.
Oh, yes.
They're challenged as women.
Yes, we do.
So, there you go.
All right. Well, we're only on number 8.
Yeah, indeed.
Moving right along, my number 8 is Eowyn. And this is the person... Eowyn from the books. I'd like to specify. Because Eowyn in the movie gets turned into this love-struck dummy.
Indeed. Yes, she does.
It totally ruins her character. But Eowyn from the book don't need no man.
She is no man.
She is sort of a man. I mean, it's really cool. She's not really... Yeah, the whole Aragorn plot line just kind of ruins Eowyn.
Absolutely.
But in the book, she's like, I don't care about that. I'm just going to fight for my country and my family like any man would be allowed to do. And it's great.
Cut off a ring.
That's the only characterization she has is awesome, manly woman that fights in armies.
And that's barely touched on in the films.
It's barely, yeah. And she in the film, she's like, I I have a third. Meh.
I am no man.
And she doesn't look, she's like so skinny. She doesn't really look like strong enough to.
No.
She's like really pretty and like fair, which I don't think Eowyn would look like that if she's like a hardened warrior.
Probably not.
Woman. And she's kind of the reason why Brienne of Tarth is not on my list, because she's the OG Brienne of Tarth, and George R. R. Martin just kind of like rips off
Everyone.
Brah. Crickets.
Take that, George.
So that's why I have Eowyn. She just
there are a couple
fights
moments.
really hard.
There's a very few and far between moments in the film that
I mean, she does stab the Nazgul in the face.
the
king, the
king.
witch king of Angmar.
and that is cool.
She does
and
also decapitate.
Yes, single-handed. Well, double-handed, I guess.
Nah.
So yeah, that happens, and that is a lot of fun. Especially the "I am no man" line.
Yes.
Which is Peter Jackson's ham-fisted attempt at feminism.
Blah. Feminism bites carrot.
You love women, don't you?
Ah.
Everyone, Joe.
Yes.
And he drunkenly stumbles
Yes.
through the
Through the
prancing
Hobbit.
pony. Through the Hobbit.
With Morgan Freeman.
Featuring Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
Number 7. I've got another game character, so I don't know if you'll be too familiar with her. All the way back from 1980 something. 4?
Oh.
3?
I think I know where you're going with this.
The Metroid series.
Yes. So it was like
Aran.
a twist ending where she
Yes,
ended up
it
being a woman.
was.
Completely.
Spoiler alert.
Oh. Sorry.
If you haven't played the game or don't know that, you've got some issues.
Yeah.
So basically, what Laura is talking about is this game where
Yeah.
this space pirate woman...
We don't know she's a woman, though. She wears a helmet the whole time.
The space pirate character who's in this massive, bulky spacesuit, so it looks like a really trim man, is kind of fighting these immortal floating brain monsters.
As any woman has to.
We don't know if she's a woman.
Oh. As any humanoid figure.
Yes. Basically, this character overcomes unbelievable circumstances, and it doesn't say anything because it's, first-person shooter. So it's essentially this person is Master Chief, but at the end, it's revealed that Samus is in fact a woman, which blew people's minds. And I mean, it's like this. She's like this. When she takes off her suit, she's in like this tiny bikini. It's really awkward.
Well, that just kind of takes away from the power.
But the fact that this whole time this woman has been, kicking butt, and then it turns out it's a woman, which most people assumed was a man.
Like, oh man, it's a girl.
It's like my character's a lady. But yeah, she's probably the feminist title for Nintendo. The reason she's so low on this list is because they made a game called Other M where she was a damsel in distress and had a voice actor, and it was bad.
That's just sad.
It is sad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I agree.
My number 7 is Claire Underwood from House of Cards.
Okay, you'll need to speak on this one because I have no idea.
Yes. So, I don't know. You guys who have watched House of Cards. So, there's Kevin Spacey.
He's Mr. Underwood?
He's Mr. Underwood. He's the vice president of the United States. Well, his wife, is equally as terrifying as he is as a politician. Because she's like behind him a lot of the time. Like, he's the guy who's in like the media. He's making all these like legislation-y type things when he's the majority whip, and then like, just executive decisions as the vice president.
Yeah.
But he's doing a lot of the plotting, but then behind him is his scary wife who destroys people. Anyone who they're completely loyal to each other, but anyone who like opposes them and their rule gets destroyed by Claire. I mean, he destroys people too, but she does it in like a really scary way. And she has this like polished exterior as like the perfect wife who's like, a great support to her husband, but then she's also like got her own agenda and like other men and like various things that she's juggling it with absolute power, and anyone who crosses her just like gets destroyed. She's pretty much the definition that you laid out. She's formidable and intimidating and cold.
Yeah.
But she's pretty cool.
It's funny how most of the characters we've listed, I think all of them so far, have been the hero.
Except for Claire is not the hero.
Right.
You actually kind of hate Claire.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Cersei from Game of Thrones, with less burning down entire cities and madness.
Spoiler alert.
It's just cruel, calculating really interesting
awesome.
female character.
Sweet.
Yeah. Moving right along.
This character comes from all the way back in the future with Back to the Future, Sarah Connor.
Oh, curse you.
Oh, is that on your list?
Yes, a lot higher up.
Well, you know what? We'll save it then.
All right.
All right.
Dang it. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen.
Oh, really? Was
that 6?
I know we've got probably one more that crosses over.
I don't think so.
All right, we'll see.
Because I get pretty creative.
All right.
My higher up. So my number 6 is Mrs. Weasley.
Very nice. She was going to be in my shout outs. But
just because, I mean, in the beginning books, I'm talking about book Mrs. Weasley, she seems like just typical mom for like a fantasy series. Loving, really funny, awesome mom of like a bunch of kids. But when the war starts in Harry Potter, she's like the biggest badass ever. In like the Battle of Hogwarts, she just like blows up Bellatrix and like,
oh yeah,
is this really powerful, all of a sudden like super scary, intimidating woman, and also still that mother that we've like loved the whole time. So it's like we get this duality to Mrs. Weasley where she's like a mama bear who's like, you are not going to hurt my children, I will defend them, die.
And she's kind of got the Lara Croft, the new one syndrome where she's not written as a woman to just be awesome, but that's part of, it makes sense for her character and her charm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, she's a good one.
Love Mrs. Weasley.
Love Mrs. Weasley.
Your turn, sir.
Number 5. I've got Wonder Woman. Character.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Good choice.
A lot of people, like Deirdre and Rich, were talking about on the Facebook post I made, asking people who they thought were the most badass females. They were singing Black Widow from Marvel, and while she does do a lot of really cool things,
stunt work,
and kicking butts,
multiple
butts. Wonder Woman is now an international ambassador for the UK.
What?
Yeah, the character.
Right.
Is now an intern, like not within the comic books, in the real life UK, she is an international ambassador.
The actress?
Fictional character.
No. What? How does that work?
I have no clue, but it's true.
It must be an honorary title.
Must be. Yeah.
We would hope so.
Yeah.
They don't just have like a puppet or like an animated.
What do you think, Diana?
Well, I'll tell you.
Well, let me tell you. Said Wonder Woman, the Greek.
The Greek.
The reason I chose Wonder Woman over Black Widow or anything, Wonder Woman is such a great influence for young women, and the fact that there are multiple. She has her own comic book series, unlike Black Widow, and she has. I was over at Barnes and Noble even, and they've got toys of they have that little toy section. They have loads of Wonder Woman figurines because she's such an influential character.
Yes.
She's in the Holy Trinity of DC is what it's called. So you got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They're like the 3 biggest. And there's a lot of weight put into this character because she's completely unwavering in the face of World War I.
Oh, yes.
So you've got Steve Trevor, I think that's his name, who's her man friend, who's one of the German soldiers. And
Steve Trevor is a German soldier.
Oh no, sorry, American in Germany. Whoops.
It's like Steve Trevor.
Steven. So yeah, she's pretty much takes care of him. So when you've got like Superman who's got Lois Lane, and you've got Batman who's got I don't know Catwoman or whatever,
or that chick. Right.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So all these, the big hitters of the Marvel or DC universe have got these maidens who need their help, who blah, blah, blah. Superman's going to reverse time. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman is saving Steve's butt constantly because she's, the ultimate uncompromising female figure. She should be higher on my list.
Yeah, probably.
She could be number 3.
Okay.
All right.
Well, my number 5 is Maleficent.
Excellent.
Again, before Angelina Jolie got a hold of her. I'm talking about Disney animated classic Maleficent. She turns into a freaking dragon,
Yes, she does.
sets people on fire, and she's just on a warpath for the whole movie.
Yeah, she is.
Cruel, uncompromising, the word we
Completely.
keep using
Yeah.
in this podcast. Like, oh, you love your daughter? Too bad. Asleep forever. Well, not forever. Like,
Unless this
and your
very specific
thing happens. Yes. She's like, I don't know, has a goal, and she destroys everyone that gets in the way of that goal.
It's true.
And more importantly, turns into a giant fire-breathing dragon.
And while she does fall victim to some of the tropes of Disney from
Olden times.
olden times, there's like the randomness of, I'm going to put a curse on her that has this very specific thing. She is still
True life kid.
she's still an awesome character.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
And then Angelina Jolie.
I know. What's the deal with that?
I don't know.
What do you think about all these reimaginings and live action reboots?
I mean, it would be cool if they weren't stupid. Like, I think the thing about reboots is you can't just like remake and then like not add anything. This is my perspective. If you're gonna like remake a story or like redo a story, you should probably like change something to add depth or like a new perspective. I feel like these remakes are just like fancier.
Yeah.
You, like,
Well,
revamp.
did you see Maleficent with Angelina Jolie?
I saw the Honest trailer and the CinemaSins.
It was. So they try to do this whole.
Well, it came out after Frozen, so the True Love's first kiss had to be like Angelina Jolie kissing Sleeping Beauty on the forehead,
So stupid.
awkwardly and weirdly.
Really dumb.
I don't get it.
But they had a lot of stuff where she's a fairy.
Yeah, and she had
it's like-
wings, and like the guy she liked cut off her like roofied her and cut off her wings. That's just it's like I was watching the Honest trailer, and what made me laugh is like we ruined Maleficent the same way we ruined Darth Vader backstory.
Oh boy.
Brah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happened to her. They made her like fall in love with someone.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Yeah, because it takes the one dimension of her that works and adds another 10 dimensions that are trash.
I mean, yeah, she's so cool because she's absolute evil, and when you make her like a anti-hero, it just kind of like ruins.
yeah.
I mean, her name means evil.
Yeah.
That's what Maleficent means.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't make her not evil.
Maleficent.
Maleficent. All right.
Yeah.
Your turn, dear.
Number four. Coming all the way from 2,554, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't know. That's true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All the way from the future, Ellen Ripley.
Ripley. I
She on
took
your
her
list?
off my list.
Because you knew she'd
because
be
I
on my
knew
list.
I thought she was going to rank higher because you love Alien so much. But
That's, while that is true, I don't think she competes in my top 3,
no,
of which Wonder Woman is one of them.
apparently.
So I'll have to go back and
Wait,
say.
who are you switching for Wonder Woman?
Oh, I'll tell you in a hot second, all right?
All right.
I'll say it in
So
place of
Ripley.
my 3rd.
Ripley.
No, Ripley's 4.
No, but we'll like continue with Ripley.
Oh, okay. Ellen Ripley, the whole point of this film is that there is no gender bias in Alien. Well, that's not the point of the film, but that is an aspect of the film. Well, I suppose it kind of is the issue. The alien is designed to make males uncomfortable because it's a giant penis-headed monster. Which is, I mean, that's
makes
what it's-
anyone uncomfortable, really.
Well, true, but more specifically, it's intended to make men uncomfortable. So while dealing with themes of rape and all that kind of thing, you have all these characters that are equal within their their gender roles, and you've got a female character, the one that's not Ripley. I cannot think of my
The one
name.
who cries a lot.
The blonde crying one. Exactly.
Yeah.
So she, while all these men, they fall victim to their gender role, Ripley kind of exceeds it and is just a human.
Lonely human. Oh, I hate that song. Ugh, get out of here,
I'm going to put
Christina
a clip
Perry.
of it right now. And we're back. So, so what we don't know about this film, the same way that with Samus Aran, we don't know that she's the, female character, is that we don't know Ellen is the main character until the very end when everyone else is dead.
Right.
Because everyone shares,
Such equal weight.
such equal weight. Yeah,
Except for that
absolutely.
crying girl.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we don't know what her name is. Actually, I only remember Ripley and Dallas was the only names, and John Hurt, but that's not his character's name. And Bilbo Cyborg. That's the android.
You've got Dallas and you've got Jones,
Of the cat? I love Jones.
If I ever got a cat, which I never would,
Because you hate cats.
I don't really like them.
I love cats.
I would name it Jones.
Good story. Moving on.
It's true.
My number 4 is Seth from Beloved, which is a book by Toni Morrison. This is like set, the story is like slavery times of America. Well, she runs away. She runs away with all of her children while pregnant. And she makes it to Free State, I think Ohio, and like lives with her husband's mother, Baby Suggs, who is a shout out on my list. She's a really cool woman herself. But she ends up, like, she makes it on her own. Like, something happened and like her husband couldn't go with her. So she makes it all the way north on her own, right? And like almost dies and like gives birth along the way. And so she's lives there for a little bit, and then the slave catchers come. And rather than have her children grow up in slavery, she starts to kill them.
Oh, man.
To save them. She mercy kills. She only succeeds in killing one of them. And then the other 3 are like traumatized for life. But
Wow.
they were little kids, so they don't really remember.
Sure.
But she's like so incredibly strong. And you have to be to like kill your own children. And then survive prison with an infant because one of her kids had just been born.
Man.
And then like keep living as like a town pariah because like everyone else remembers you as that one time you snapped and started killing your children.
Yeah.
She's pretty crazy.
But then again,
crazy strong character.
Yeah, uncompromising.
She survives slavery. She survives the guilt and the exile and the incredibly difficult life she leads as a free African American woman in America right after the Civil War. Not a good time, but she makes it with her one daughter. I mean, she has 2 sons, and they like leave her because they remember like, oh yeah, that one time
You tried to kill us.
Yeah, we ain't about that.
Interesting.
And also, like, her house is haunted by the ghost of the baby that did die, so she has to deal with that, and she just kind of just like has to solve all of her problems herself.
Wow.
Completely.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying, but she's pretty.
Sounds
awesome.
like a good read. I mean,
it is a really
sad.
good read. I have it, and Toni Morrison's amazing author. But yeah,
cool.
You go.
Here's my number 5.
Number 5, switching.
Because I've switched them up. The Bride from Kill Bill.
Oh.
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman. So great.
She's marvelous. Well, she's really terrifying.
Yes. Like, I think almost all the women we've named, marvelous. Kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
But marvelous.
Would not want to fight them.
No, and never.
Yeah. Especially Viola Davis.
Oh my God. She'd just hit you with a frying pan.
I'm telling you. Then tell me I'm not special.
You are not kind. Not smart. Not important.
Stop it, Viola.
Frying pan. All right.
Frying pan to the
so
brow.
Anyway, Kill Bill.
The Bride.
The Bride.
Basically, this film is a woman's journey to find and kill Bill. Spoiler alert.
She does.
She do. She do. So she's this marvelous kung fu master. It's so bizarre when you think about it.
It is really. It's very Tarantino.
It's super Tarantino. And she learns along the way because it's barely addressed that she's a woman when she's fighting. And she fights other incredible women martial artists. It's pretty incredible. Her kill count is wild. Just to give you a definition, or no, a scale of how badass she is.
Oh.
There was a moment in the film that had to be cut to black and white because it was so bloody. Violent and bloody. Yeah.
For the ratings.
Yeah.
Had to be in black and white.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like NC-17, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's probably got the highest kill count on our list.
Probably. I mean, Mrs. Weasley, we don't know what her
thousands,
like.
Millions. Well, I mean,
continent.
If you don't count like Metroid, killing.
Oh yeah.
Nameless blah blah blahs. So good for you, Bride.
Good for you.
Kill count. Kill Bill count.
Kill Bill count. Millions. Not millions. No. But
several hundred.
Lots of faceless minions and Bill.
Faceless Bills.
All right, my number 3.
Yeah.
Going back again to Greek
Excellent.
Antigone. You are all familiar with Antigone?
I am familiar.
Yes. she is, again,
You're
it's
about to
pretty
say,
amazing.
I'm not.
Pretty amazing that she exists as a character at all, because Greeks were like super misogynistic
Yeah.
people back in the day. I mean, all cultures pretty much were.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. But Antigone is really cool because she totally says screw you to the king of the city she lives in. See, what happens is her two brothers go to war with each other. And one of them, Eteocles, is on the side of like Thebes, that's the city. And the other one's like trying to take over the city. His name's Polynices. And Polynices, like, they kill each other in battle. And Creon, the tyrant of Thebes, decides that Eteocles gets a hero's burial because he fought for the city, and Polynices does not get buried at all, which is like a huge deal. It's because it's like the god's law that all the dead have to be properly buried. So Antigone is like, well, that ain't right. She's like really is like close to all of her siblings, and she can't let this stand, and she's not going to let the laws of man determine how she approaches the laws of the gods. So she's like, I don't care that the penalty is death. I'm going to go bury Polynices, even though he was a jerk and turned on our city and all that. But
More like Polymenses.
and she also has to survive being the child of Oedipus Rex,
Oh, the king.
the king. Oedipus the king, the king.
Oedipus the king, the Rex the king.
Yes. Which is, and she also has to survive being a woman in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And when I think
Excellent.
yes, excellent choice. Good job, me.
No, she's a great choice.
Yeah, she's like, laws. I don't care. That's pretty much why.
Such hubris.
Such hubris. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point
Yeah.
of most tragedy. It is a tragedy. She does die.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Worth it.
worth it. Hashtag worth it.
Number 2. Imperator Furiosa.
I knew Furiosa would be on your list. She wasn't on mine because I hadn't watched that Mad Max. You guys saw that without me.
You haven't seen
You
it?
saw it without me.
You haven't seen it still.
I still haven't seen it.
Laura,
Yes. Movie night.
what is happening? I cannot believe it.
It's not my fault.
It's marvelous.
You've said marvelous, so we should. At the end of this podcast, you should have a count. Count all the times you said marvelous,
You can count it.
and like put it in the description.
You can count.
I
And
will
I'll
do
put
it.
it in the
Fine.
description because
All
I ain't
right.
listening to that.
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
There's one.
Marvelous.
Oh.
Marvelous.
Anyway, Furiosa.
Moraleris.
Oh,
Didn't count.
Olivia Newton.
Maleficent.
Angelina Jolie.
Imperator Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes,
She's unbelievable, this
she
character.
really is.
Yeah, she's great. So basically this woman is one of the head honchos.
Quiet.
What's his name?
Joe.
Something Joe. Joe. Indigenous Joe. Something.
That's not it.
Some weird adjective. So anyway, Joe pretty much owns everything because he owns the water in this wasteland.
Right.
He employs a couple of imperators, including Furiosa, amongst others she's the only woman. Amongst other men. I'm obviously quite tired. I was telling Laura I usually take a nap around this time.
Yes, it's showing in the eyes.
It is. So Furiosa is, one of a kind because she's a woman warrior in this male-dominated
Field.
Well, race.
She doesn't even
really.
get paid as much.
Race. See what I did there?
Anyway. Blah.
Cars. She also drives a massive, awesome truck.
Yes.
But besides all that, she steals Joe's quote-unquote breeders, who are these like attractive young women who Joe uses to create more
Joes.
They make little Joes. These women are obviously not very fond of that. So
Probably not.
Furiosa takes them all and escapes with them, which sends Joe after them. But and they pick up Mad Max along the way, Furiosa. There's a couple scenes where Furiosa and Mad Max fight, and it's not like Aeon Flux kind of fighting style where it's just like nonsense happening. It's this marvelously
Choreographed.
Does that count?
I mean,
choreographed.
it's a derivative of marvelous, so yes, it counts.
All right. Fantastically choreographed. It's meticulous. I mean, it's brilliant. Every moment of it is genius. And eventually they get to a point where Max has 3 bullets left. And he needs to shoot this wild man who's driving towards them with 2 Uzis, just shooting, just blindly because he's blind. And so Max pulls out this sniper, shoots twice and misses, and he looks at Furiosa and he's like, "I'm not a fool." So he hands over the gun. She makes the shot and hits the guy.
Of course she does. She's Furiosa.
She's Furiosa. So something great that happened in this is Max is essentially trying to survive.
Yes.
That's literally all he wants. He has no end goal. As soon as all the water is free, he leaves. I mean, he has no other necessity except to survive.
Right.
And by doing so, he realizes that Furiosa is just the better shot, the better driver, the better everything. And
Better name.
Way better name.
Better name, for
Max
sure.
Furiosa.
Mad.
Imperator. First name Imperator, last name. So she's getting her own movie, as a matter of fact.
Unlike Black Widow.
Sucks to be Scarlett Jo. She also doesn't have any toys, Scarlett Johansson.
I heard about that.
It's terrible.
It's quite a controversy.
Yes.
If you follow that sort of thing.
Which I do.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Furiosa.
She's
Solid
good.
choice.
Watch that film.
My second choice was like your fifth. Sarah Connor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
She is such an awesome lady. I mean, she's kind of a jerk, but she survives like the completely insane scenario she gets thrown into, where an angry Austrian robot is sent back in time to kill her, and she just has to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great. And she does marvelously. By the end of the first Terminator, she's like the one who's, I just said it.
Nice word.
Dang. But, she's like a completely strong character. And then in Terminator 2, she's like this complete warrior who, again, like most women on these lists we've created, have to deal with society being like, you're a crazy lunatic. I mean, we see her first in an asylum.
Yeah.
Doing pull-ups. This
Yes.
kind of pull-ups.
Anybody ever mistake you for a dude? No. How about you?
And, she goes on this war path to stop Skynet. And, she's got nice arm muscles.
She's got guns.
She's got guns,
as
literally.
well as guns.
And, muscle tissue-wise.
Muscles.
Knowing also that she is the mother of the savior of the human race. She's like a really gritty and not pure Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary with a machine gun and not a virgin at all.
And guns.
And guns.
Guns and guns.
Guns and guns and guns. And mass murder.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
That's why.
She
fights hard.
I'm sure that's
Hard.
probably
Hard. Sorry.
she fights hard. That's probably a parallel.
It
The
probably
Jesus and
is.
Virgin Mary kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she, especially in that second movie, she is ripped.
Ripped. Beyond all reason.
I bet Tim wishes he had delts like that.
She just has to deal with all the time, the knowledge that the world is going to end on Judgment Day, and no one believes her. That creates quite a hardened character.
Yeah. Makes you do a lot of pull-ups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pull the weights up.
All right. Grand finale. Who did you pick?
I wonder if we have the same person.
I don't think we do.
Do you want to guess who each other's is?
No. Just tell me who yours is.
All right. Yushu Lin
Okay. Who's
from
that?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, yeah. How could we have picked... I don't know who that is.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's a great
I mean, I
movie.
know who
It's marvelous.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is. I know what that is. It's a
Crouching
film.
Hidden Dragon Tiger.
Yes, sorry. I just kind of...
Have you never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Wow.
I'm an uncultured swine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
As seen by my ability to talk about female characters.
Exactly. Swine.
Swine.
Anyway. It's from, we're going all the way back to Ang Lee's masterpiece, Oscar winning.
Awesome.
It's great. It's one of my favorite foreign films of all time. In Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. So basically, it's about 3 women warriors who are widely respected,
Oh, yeah.
just as many female warriors were back in ancient China.
Yeah. Mulan.
Mulan.
Shout out to Mulan, who was originally on my list and got X'd out for cooler people.
So Yushu Len, despite being a name that I am completely not used to,
Quiet.
she is this aging Chinese woman, not aging, so she's probably about 50, which is not, a young woman.
No.
And she fights marvelously with a sword. You're going to be counting all day long on these marvelous.
All day long.
So the thing is that there is a male warrior in this film, and he's considered the greatest warrior China's ever had. But she can still hold her ground against him. And it's considered by many to be the most important feminist film ever made.
Oh, truly.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, maybe I should watch it.
You should, definitely.
Being a woman and all.
Being a woman.
Probably.
I mean, I watched it without being a woman, so
Well,
you need to catch up.
yeah, really.
It's great. I won't
It's
ruin
great.
it. You really
So
need to watch
great.
it. You guys should watch
She's
it.
a tremendous woman.
It's marvelous. She also is remarkably insightful, scarily intelligent.
Oh, like most women. Not
Yes.
true.
And
kinda
great with
true.
a sword.
Oh,
So there
great
you
with a
go.
sword.
You need to watch that.
All right.
Everyone watch it.
Number one choice for me is Arya Stark of Winterfell from Game of Thrones. She is the coolest. I don't care what anybody says.
That's not who I was going to guess.
Who are you going to guess?
I was going to guess Jane Eyre.
Nah, I haven't read Jane Eyre.
Have you not?
I can't get through it. So I know. I'm not really a fan of, or I haven't really read a lot of that era of literature just because it's so dry. But
Fair enough.
Arya Stark is the coolest little kid that ever did exist. I mean,
Is she? All right, let me look her up while you
look her up real quick. But basically, she's one of the many children of Ned Stark, and she's kind of a tomboy. She doesn't really fit into the typical like noble female role, like of children of nobility. They're expected to be, or female children of nobility anyway, are like refined. They don't talk a lot. They just sew, and then they get married, and that's it. And they have children, and they die. Arya Stark, however,
She's quite young.
quite young. She learns how to sword fight. She gets her own sword special made in the beginning of the books. And then when she goes south with her dad and her other sister, and the plot of Game of Thrones happens, her dad gets decapitated. They all get split up. She has to survive pretty much on her own. She travels all over the country, and she's entirely motivated by revenge, killing all the people that led to the death of her many family members, because pretty much her whole family. Most of her family gets killed by other powers that be in the Game of Thrones world. So
she's like a preteen on a...
Yeah, she's a preteen
Killing
on the
vengeance.
warpath, and she does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And she survives horrible things. She gets captured by the enemy, and no one knows that she's Arya Stark of Winterfell. So she kind of like has to drop her title completely and go incognito as this little orphan girl. She's people's servants, and when she escapes from that, she's just like in the wilderness. She travels with the Hound, one of the people she swore to kill, but then she's stuck with for a while.
Jeez.
And they kind of become friends. And then she almost makes it to where her family is, but of course, they're all dead by the time she gets there.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George. Then she leaves the country completely. And it's like, what? She has to survive in like a foreign land, learning the art of the faceless men, essentially to become an assassin that can change her face completely.
Oh, wow.
It's really fun times.
Is she blinded at any point?
She does get blinded by
The light.
the faceless men. I don't remember why, because at this point in the book, I hated George R. R. Martin's writing so much I stopped reading.
Wow. Savage.
And I did watch the show. I think, I can't remember why she gets blinded, but she does. She has to deal with that, being a blind orphan girl with no anything in the world. But she makes it back to Westeros. Like, she abandons this whole faceless man thing, because part of that is giving up your identity. And she's like, no, I'm just going to be Arya Stark of Winterfell forever and be a complete badass. So she goes home, she kills some more people, and now where we are about to go into season 7, she seems like she's in a pretty good position to start exacting more of that sweet, sweet vengeance.
But she's blind now?
No, she's not. I guess that was like a magic thing. It gets undone. She gets unblinded. I don't remember why it happens.
Unblinded by the light.
But yeah, she has to survive on her own. Little girl. In the book, she's like an 8-year-old when this whole thing starts.
Oh, goodness.
And she's older for television purposes, but Real cool.
But I know that actress looks younger than she actually is.
Yeah, she does. Maisie does
Even
look
then.
a lot younger.
Yeah.
Show's fantastic. I love the show.
I need to watch it.
Yeah,
Or I won't.
it's okay. It kind of gets boring a lot of the time, but kind of like the books. Never read those.
All right, I won't.
Absolute trash.
I
The
was
first
going
one,
to.
the first one's really good, but then they just kind of die. First one, the third one,
Just like all the characters.
just like all the characters. Well, not all, but a lot of the ones you like die.
All the ones I like.
And it's kind of like, well, if we have no one to root for, George, why are we gonna keep reading your dang books? Why not? Suck it. Yeah, that is my list,
Hey,
and there are so many.
it's my list as well.
That's your list.
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Start counting.
All right. But yeah, I have like 31 people I could have talked about.
Could have. Should have, could have, would
Should
have.
have, could have, would have.
But
And there are probably
we did
more.
it. We're
There are so many more.
Oh,
women,
they're-
I bet.
infinite.
Infinite.
Like Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Angelina Jolie's Maleficent from.
You know what? Actually, there was a couple comments on our Facebook page.
Truly. Oh, we could go through those.
I'm gonna,
You want to chat about that?
yeah, just give me 1 second. I want to read off a few of those.
Do tell.
Doo-doo. is what you
Do-
just said to
do-do.
me. Kyle said Imperio Furiosa, and I said, you are correct.
You are correct, sir.
Nick Akey said Master Chief, Metroid, Zelda,
Oh,
Kirby.
yeah. Who, what was the last one?
Kirby.
Kirby? Kirby's a girl?
Nope.
No.
Nope. So thanks for those, Nick.
Nick Akey did not complete the assignment.
He did not. Stephen Adams said Kim Possible.
Oh, yeah.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
I think the green lady should be
Oh,
whatever her name is.
yeah, I don't remember what her name is either.
Rufus.
The Naked Bull Rat.
Anna Vanston gave us a lot. She said Samus, got that one. Zelda, who was on my shoutouts, but I didn't mention her. In Ocarina of Time, she's also Sheik. But I mean,
Chic.
she is Sheik, but she is also the character Sheik,
Yeah.
which is great. Impa, Lara Croft, Virginia Maxwell, all the Mortal Kombat women. She said they literally kick butts. So, Faith from Mirror's Edge, it's
yes.
true. Resident Evil ladies.
Oh, yes.
She said that's just a tiny fragment
Or
of
the
video
chick
game
from-
possibilities.
Oh, my God. The Fifth Element.
Yeah, she's pretty
Yes.
good.
Can't remember what her
Bruce
name is.
Willis.
Yes. The opera singer. The blue opera lady.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Oh, speaking of blue people, Neytiri's pretty cool.
But
But
she is pretty good.
movie's kind of stupid, but she's pretty cool.
Anyone that Sigourney Weaver plays
What?
is great.
Well, that's not really what I was talking about.
She's in Avatar, so
Yeah, she is an Avatar, but I'm talking about. I was thinking more of the Zoe Saldana line and thinking about Star
Gamora.
Trek. Gamora.
she's
Oh,
Gamora
her.
as well.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Marvel doesn't have a lot of them.
No,
DC
just
has tons
Black
of them.
Widow, but she's kind of a nothing
She's
person.
garbage.
So much hate.
Yeah, so Anna said that's just a tiny fragment of video game possibilities. Not even considering books, TV, movies. There's so many incredible badass fictional ladies.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to list them all.
Well, that was not helpful.
Well, you know what? We did start to list
We
them
did
all.
begin to list them all.
So maybe we'll
I put
continue
the
to do so.
Entwives on my list originally.
The
As
Entwives?
a joke to myself, but they're like non-characters. They're just like, we lost them, and now we cannot find them. And that's the only
went on.
characterization thing.
They went on away.
They left. You know
'Cause
why?
they're
Because they don't need no tree
uncompromising.
men.
They're uncompromising.
Yeah. Oh, the Entwives.
You don't even know them. I don't know 'em.
No one knows them.
Gimli's mother,
Yeah, she's not a real character. But
because they don't exist.
what?
Female dwarfs.
Well, they joke about them.
It's the bad.
Who are there other women in Lord of the Rings that we're missing? Arwen in the book is not really a character. Arwen in the movies has that one fun scene where she's on
I
a
was
horse.
about to say she's got a good scene, and then she's kind of a damsel.
And she's like, oh, I love people.
I was looking for female dragons on
The one
this.
from Shrek.
She is compromising though.
Yeah.
The whole
She does fall in love with a donkey,
forget
which
it.
is just so many problems.
You know what the opposite of badass is?
Fiona from Shrek.
Candy ass.
What is... Ew.
It's true.
What?
Ask your dad. He knows.
I don't want
He's
to
the one who
ask
told me
him.
that.
I don't want to ask him that.
Don't. He
That's-
told me that.
I'm not surprised he did.
It's not a gross thing. It's just what it is.
Okay.
Hey, so I think that just about does it.
Well, what a great note to end on.
You know what? Speaking of badass females, next episode is going to be episode 31, which is Nidoqueen, which is one of the coolest female Pokemon of all time. Exclusively female.
Exclusively.
She's the queen, Nidoqueen.
She's Beyonce then.
Amen.
Amen.
Let's high five. Bye.
Bye.